This show is a member of the Sorgatron Media Podcast Network. Find out more at sorgatronmedia.com. This show is brought to you by Slice on Broadway, supporting Pittsburgh podcasting with the perfect pepperoni pizza. Production services by Sidekick Media Services. And listeners like you, supporting us at patreon.com/AwesomeCast.
I'm getting awesome, you're getting awesome, we're getting awesome, yeah, that's what I said now. I'm getting awesome, you're getting awesome, we're getting awesome, yeah, that's what I said. Nightmares, I don't care, I love it.
It's time to get geeky, get awesome. It is the AwesomeCast. I'm Mike Sorg at Sorgatron on the Twitter here in the Sorgatron Media Studios in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Ready for the AwesomeCast, talking all kinds of geeky things going on. But we have with us, first of all, from Studio C in the Big Dormont. Big Dormont? Yes, in Big Dormont. In the Big Dormont. Yes, not
it's
the little
biggest
Dormont.
Of Dormonts.
The biggest of Dormont. By the way, the pro wrestler from Dormont, PA, made an appearance last week on the wrestling I watch again. So I just wanted to throw that out there. I'm always pleased to hear, of all places, the square mile of Dormont represented on wrestling television. But anyways, John Chichilla, he's a gadget guru of Big Bank International Esquire.
How's it going? I feel like I'm from the biggest of Dormonts.
The biggest of Dormonts. Yes.
Is there any Dormont bigger? Is there any other Dormonts?
Is there another one? I don't know. I find a Greenville and a Jamestown in every state, and that's the two towns I'm from. So I don't know. It's weird. And also back with us. Cleared the schedule. Not hanging out with Sidney Crosby tonight. The Dudders is with us. Social media expert, master, if you will.
Master.
Yes.
I don't. I heard there was the special delayed CVS Halloween edition of the show, so I wore my Halloween cat shirt one more time.
Yes, yes, it is. It is. Chilla, did you dress up? Did you visit the Rite Aid clearance rack like I did?
So if you look in the notes in my awesome thing of the week, you will see Christopher and I dressed up as it would be too warm to wear.
Oh,
It was extremely comfortable and warm. Like I didn't have to wear a jacket or anything, but we went as Snorlax and Snorlax Jr.
Oh, let me see if I can pull it up here. Okay, okay. Ah, no, why isn't this working? Hold on, we're zooming in. Oh no, I screwed it up. I screwed it up. I don't know how to. I don't know how to do images in. I'm sorry. I don't know how to do images in. There it is. There. That's really tiny, but you get the idea, I think. So hold on. Let me see if I can zoom into it for everybody on video. Nope, nope, nope. There it is. Oh no, I opened the store.
Hold on.
Oh no, I opened the Microsoft store. There it is, right there. Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. So good Snorlaxing. Did you get a good haul from Trick or Treat there, Sheila?
Oh, there was so. If
Did
you
you
look
get
in that picture, he's carrying like a bucket to carry
Yes.
his candy.
Yes.
We filled the bucket, we filled our pockets, we filled the paws in the costume.
That's great.
We came back, we dumped it, and then we had to get out a pillowcase like
But-
the olden days.
But did you get any of the weed candy I keep hearing about on the news?
No, that
No?
doesn't. Nobody gives that out. That's
No,
a farce.
nobody gives that out. Everybody keeps it for themselves.
Did you see the Loke thing that he did on the news?
That's where I first heard
that was
about it.
hysterical.
That's where I first
Yeah.
heard about it, and then like everybody did a bit afterwards. So like all the major TV like comedians started doing bits about it. So but so Katie, you're dressed up. You got your Halloween shirt on over there.
spooky cat.
Spooky cat. I did visit my Rite Aid down the hill, and I paid a whole $12. One, and this is a secret, we have the Butterfinger champion coming in later tonight for Wrestling Mayhem Show, so I got some Butterfingers for him. But we got a little skeleton T-Rex here. Look at this guy. I think is this head move? No, not really. It seems pretty standard. But there you go. I found a Halloween Snoopy for my mom, because why not?
Use.
Yes, and it'll go with the Christmas one. I got some Halloween Reese's, so we're good there. And I did get a costume. Hold on a second. I did get a costume. We'll just go over here for a second. Katie will just entertain
Look
you
at me. We'll talk
All
about
right.
cats.
I was hoping I could wear this during the course of the show. Unfortunately, this is not entirely functional, and I was like, oh, it'll just be like clear glass or plastic or something. I can still control the show. No, these are literally like Coke bottle like bottoms to it, and everything is really weird. You know what? Maybe I'll try to do the show as long as I can through this. If you're on audio, Katie, for audio, what do I look like right now? Because I can't really tell because I can't see any monitors.
You look very fashionable with your fake black mustache hanging from your very large nose. Very reminiscent of the Humpty Dance.
You know, you know what? Your description, your description just looks like my actual picture. So I don't know if that's going to be really descriptive. But so we'll see how this goes. And now. Hold on, I gotta hold on. So if you've just tuned into us, check out everything at awesomecast.com. Hit up us at awesomecast.sorgatronmedia.com, at awesomecast on the Twitter, as well as the AwesomeCast Facebook page and group. And we understand some people are eliminating their Facebook accounts, so I am going to endeavor to start a Discord server for everybody that does not want to do Facebook or Meta. I suppose we'll have to talk about that a little bit later. Yeah, so we're going to be doing that. And also we're live every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern time at the AwesomeCast Facebook page. I'm sorry, yes, the Facebook page. I'm sorry. The mustache is really, I feel like I'm talking into the back of the mustache, and it feels very strange to me. What was I talking about? YouTube. We're on the AwesomeCast YouTube. We're on the Twitch for Sorgatron Media, and we're also streaming live on our Twitter page, actually. So if you follow any of those, you'll get us live here every Tuesday, or you can watch it whenever you would like afterwards, or check out the podcast, of course, wherever your fine podcasts are done. Does anybody have the doc up so they can give the shout outs? Because I can't read anything right now. So, you know what? We're gonna have to ditch this right now. And put the actual glasses on. We'll play with that a little bit later. give a shout out to our friends at patreon.com/awesomecast that are supporting the show, helping keep the lights on, helping keep the servers running. Our friends at the Coffee Club level, Matt Weller, John DeGore, John Carmen, Cynthia Clossy, Scott McTaggart, and Mike Pound. And our friends at the fan level, Michael Fedor, Professor Buzzkill, and Dave Bonner. You guys can support the show too at patreon.com/awesomecast. So let's get into our awesome things of the week. We already saw a little bit from you, Chilla, but let's continue. You had a little bit of a downtime over the holiday, didn't you?
Yes. And I will honestly say it probably started Thursday night.
Mm-hmm.
So for those who are not fans of Roblox or have never played Roblox or don't know what Roblox is an online gaming platform that allows pretty much anyone to create their own games. They can be as simplistic or as basic or as complex as you would like. There's often a monetary aspect to it. They want you to buy some kind of coin so you can get something in the game. But no game actually requires a payment that I know of or have ever played.
So classically freemium.
Yep. But it's like you log into the platform and there's like a billion games to pick from.
Mm-hmm.
So big that there's been, much like Fortnite, there's been major concerts on there recently. And in fact, over the holiday weekend, the Halloween holiday weekend, Chipotle was giving away $1 million worth of free burritos all weekend long if you played one of their maze games.
Mm-hmm.
Funny enough, in concert with the Chipotle game going on, Roblox went down. The platform, I would say personally, got a little rocky on Thursday night.
Mm-hmm.
And people were having some issues logging in. We were having issues getting into a couple different games. And by Friday it was just down, and it was down hard. And not only was it down Friday, it was down Friday and Saturday and Sunday. And it didn't come back for us, at least until late Sunday evening.
Mm-hmm.
And you could tell by the way they were making announcements throughout the weekend that they were not sure what was going on. I'm not 100% sold that they still know what went on, other than they fixed it.
Mm-hmm.
It was like a combination of a handful of things. They're actually going to do a full post-mortem root cause analysis, pick your name, for what the heck happened.
Mm-hmm.
There's 40 million people that come through that platform a day.
Jeez.
So it's not small by any means, not to mention the lost dollars in advertising that people would have prepaid for the holiday weekend. I've seen certain games extending their Halloween stuff forward just to get people to be able to earn the collectibles, because there's a lot of games where you're not paying necessarily, but you have to do a bunch of objectives to get something.
Mm-hmm.
So I have seen that going on. I'll be interested to see how they play this, keeping in mind that they are publicly traded on the stock market now, and their stock was down as a result.
Roblox is publicly traded.
Yes.
Wow.
It's like I said, if you have a couple hours of free time,
mm-hmm.
And you download it, I would urge you to go just check out a couple of the games, right? They're not overly complex. You can jump, if you have 5 minutes of time, you can jump in, play for 5 minutes, and then get back out.
It seems kind of like a less complicated Minecraft, if that makes sense, right?
Yeah, it depends on the game you're playing. But yeah, imagine if anyone could take Minecraft and make their own games out of it.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I would see.
Well, there is that, isn't there? There's servers I popped in on, and there's like hide and seek games and things like that.
Yep.
That's what I'm talking about.
We play some of those. But okay, so imagine that portion of it.
Yeah.
Times 1,000.
But it's all that. Like, it's all these make-up games.
It's all these made-up games.
Yeah,
some of them are like obstacle courses. Some of them are collect these coins, run around and do something.
Wow.
I'll tell you what. There's some really good first-person shooters on there, like really impressive first-person shooters.
Okay, okay. And these are probably kids making this stuff.
Yep.
Yeah,
There's a lot of good
so-
tower defense games. No, just a lot of good all across the platform.
Just
But
recruiting.
I'm happy it's back up because there were actually points over the weekend where I'm like, I wish I could just jump on and play
Mm-hmm.
XYZ for like 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm. I love it. I love it. Katie, what's your awesome thing of the week? And I knew as soon as I saw this was going to be it.
Well, we finally got the trailer for the Book of Boba Fett on Disney Plus. It is marked as chapter 17, so we're assuming it's right after the last season of The Mandalorian,
Mhm.
and so it's kind of all following along with that. But Boba Fett is on Tatooine, and he's sitting on Jabba the Hutt's throne, and it sounds like he's getting ready to take over there. It's not a very long trailer, but it's definitely good, and I'm very excited about it. December 29th. I think they said there's going to be 8 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
8-hour-long episodes, it looks like.
I love it. I love it. So I don't know. It's like, are we getting a break from Mandalorian, or is it coming back to it? You know, like, or is this the next chapter of the Mandalorian? Well, you say like it's chapter 17, so it is just a continuation.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like. And some folks are saying, you know, if you look at any of the just like the behind the scenes, and we're like, ooh, you know, maybe we heard Mando's voice at, I think it was like 29 seconds or something. I forget when it was. Somebody had made the comment that they thought they heard his voice, but we'll see.
But who knows, because it's that radio voice, right? So you could put
Yep.
anybody behind it. So like maybe it's just another, who knows? You know, it's another Mandalorian. It's another, you know, somebody with a mask or something like that. Because I mean, you know, I don't think the Mandos are the only ones that do that, right? So.
Yeah. And this particular article I sent you from space.com is they were hoping that we're going to find out how Boba escaped the Sarlacc pit.
Yes.
Because they do a lot of this flashing back and telling more of the story. So we may finally know what actually happened.
I saw that some conversation
I thought
about. Go ahead.
Was that covered in the? They did cover that. I can't. I'm sure it's been taken out of canon now, but they did have a. I don't know if it was a comic book or if it was in Tales of Mos Eisley.
Yeah, I think it was
Tales of Jabba's Palace. One of them
yeah.
did cover the story of him escaping the Sarlacc.
It's one of those extended universe books, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I think.
Oh wait, she's walked away. Wait, she's coming back. Hold on, you mean this book right here that Katie just has on her shelf nearby?
Wait.
There it comes.
I think I
There it
grabbed
goes.
the wrong one. Hold on.
She literally has a Star Wars book that she walked off of
Oh, no,
frame
it's
and came back.
The Legends Mandalorian Armor.
Okay. Is that
I think this is the one.
Is that one from a bit back?
Oh gosh, this guy is from forever ago. 98. Forever ago. Is this the right one? Yeah. I think this is the right. Well, yeah. Oh yeah, this is when he pulls himself out, all covered, all beat up and burned from the acid of the Sarlacc pit stomach.
Oh jeez. Love it.
So yeah, Star Wars: The Mandalorian Armor, The Bounty Hunter Wars, Book 1 from KW Jeter.
And
Which, you know.
how many out of 5 Black Cats do you give it?
You're gonna laugh because I just pulled out a Mothman sticker. Mark. It gets one Mothman.
There you go. Perfect. All right. No, we learned a little bit there. My awesome thing is I got to listen. We got, the business has been really good lately. We've been having a lot of fun. I went to Boston this past weekend for a boxing pay-per-view Friday. First time that I produced a boxing event. I've done cam ops on probably about 3 boxing events over the years. So I'm familiar, but the first time actually kind of producing the show, and thankfully we got a really good partner with it, with the E2A Productions that we're working with out there, and thanks to them we've got a they've been doing the live production for like 10 years, so full on, that's all they've been doing. So they've been building up some pretty big rigs. So I wanted to kind of geek out a little bit here for a moment and show you a little bit of what we had to work with here, without doing too deep into it. There's our setup there. There's me at the setup there, probably during the first intermission or the hour we were waiting for the show to start or something like that. And you notice, Chilla, do you see that? Do you see that rig in the middle there? That switcher in the middle there?
Yes,
And
I
you
do see that.
And you are familiar with the ATEM minis, of course, right?
Mm-hmm.
So imagine an ATEM mini, but it's a full-on 4K SDI output. It's the big boy. It's the big boy. It is the big boy. So it was a dream to work with. It was some great equipment out there. And look at that soundboard. That was this was like an Allen Heath. Listen, I'm not a sound person by any means. Like I mean, I'm a video first person, and audio I'm kind of like, learn as we learn, right? We got a Zoom Live Track 12 in here, and I'm still learning all the features on this thing. So it was a lot. Thankfully, it was pre-set up for me. But we had a blast with this, easy setup, and we were able to produce boxing and with this setup, live streaming over on Throwdown Sports Network. Yes, it was wicked awesome. Listen, the first time I walked in the building and talked with like the building manager, and she had the pure classic Boston thick accent, I was just like, oh right. It was a Ted Lasso moment. Oh right, I'm the foreigner here. But no, it was a really good time. So shout out to Reyes Boxing. They did. You're gonna love this. It was called Down and Dirty, was the name of their show. I really wanted to get a T-shirt, but didn't get an opportunity to. But anyway, so shout outs to that. And that was I can't even tell you what model that thing was, but it was just a giant Blackmagic ATEM production 4K. And you can get, like we've I've talked about here before, we have like the ATEM that goes in a rack, and then you have to use like a laptop maybe to do it. And I've used one of these before where you plugged into that, and then you have the physical button switcher to that. And dude, man, just having the physical buttons, just like having this ATEM mini here when we do this show, just getting used to those physical buttons makes such a difference in a live production. And I'm sure many out there that do Twitch, if Riz is out there listening, things like the Stream Deck that you can program it and queue up graphics and things through that through that thing was really, really cool. I learned an entirely new way to do replays. First time doing this replay system, and the commentators were just over the moon, where they're like, I'd love to see if that guy got hit in the dick. Here's the guy getting hit in the dick. It was perfect. It was perfect. But yeah, and I didn't really have much. It was an entertaining night for boxing. I'm not a boxing fan at all, other than watching Rocky movies, right? And you would have loved this, Katie. The classic like Mickey coach from Rocky. This guy was basically that guy. And he's calling people bums. He was like, it was just telling the two guys, Mikey Wood, I know, is one commentator. They were just telling these great off the wall stories about boxing and the guys in the gym and everything like that throughout the entire night. It was entertaining. It was fun for us to work, and it was a good time with that. So Reyes Boxing, Down and Dirty 2 over on Throwdown Sports Network. If you want to go see what that was about, if you're a boxing fan, I encourage you. I believe we're going to be going out there again in December, so keep an eye out for that. So shout outs to them and the other guys I've been working with. 247 MMA we did a couple weeks ago, and we've been working with a couple companies with Spectation Sports Network. So throwing out all those. If you like MMA, if you like boxing, if you like combat sports that's not pro wrestling, these guys have been great to work with, and really looking forward to what we're doing here in the future with these guys. So and of course shout out to Mike Moran over at E2A Productions has been setting up a lot of cool stuff literally all across the country. So and I think that's all we have for our awesome things, correct? Yes, that's it. All right, so let's give a shout out to our friends over at Slice on Broadway, supporting Pittsburgh podcasting with the perfect pepperoni pizza, Beachview, Carnegie, East End, the North Hills, right up the street. It's good to visit our friends up there. I love my little Tuesday strolls where I get to drive up the neighborhood to pick up the pizza and back and see what's going on. So go check them out. We of course we did trek up to New York. Katie was there for that. You haven't been on since we did that, were you?
Oh no, it's been a bit, huh?
Yeah, you were part of the pizza trek. up to up to New York. So with our buddy Mad Mike from the Wrestling Mayhem show. So and it held up. I've never seen somebody so excited for Remorn's Pizza before. So but
He was so excited to share it with his wife. I think that was the best part.
Oh,
He just couldn't wait.
That's the thing. She had not participated before, so that makes a lot of sense too. So no, good shout out to our friend Slice on Broadway. We're still trying to figure out. We need a trip out to Seattle for our Wrestling Mayhem show friends out there, so they can participate. They say not impressed until they deliver out there. They say. So thanks to our friends for supporting the show, and we actually do have guests this evening that we will be feeding with our good friend Slice on Broadway, and I think next week too. We're getting a lot more of the wrestling friends are coming in. It seems so. Let's see what else we got here in the rundown. Oof. Okay, I don't want to get into that yet. Chilla, have you been looking at Niantic's Pokemon Bloom? I have not told my wife about this yet. I have a feeling she's going to be participating in it.
Is it which is Pokemon?
I'm sorry, Pikmin Bloom.
Anyway, I think Dudders covered that game a handful of episodes ago, didn't you?
Yes.
I have not played it yet because I am trying to complete still Halloween quests in Pokemon.
Well, you will not have played it, but it has started rolling out in Singapore and Australia. Is the story this week?
Okay.
That's the update.
When are we getting it here?
When are we getting here? I'm not sure, but it's already live there. And you'll pick up and grow plant-like creatures. So I think that. So I'm wondering how they're going to vary this, because it's not like Pokemon that has like 500 variations. From what I remember from playing the original Pikmin, and I've never played the sequels, you just have multicolored little guys that you grow, right? So, like, I don't know.
That do different things.
And they do different things. They have different tasks.
Yeah.
Can you, like, carry multiple, or can you crossbreed them and create, like, the super Pikmin?
Yes. I mean, that's it. Maybe just you grow it up into the super Pikmin. So, Pikmin? Yes.
So are you nervous? Because I saw two major announcements, I think one today and one maybe last week.
Mm-hmm.
Niantic is discontinuing Harry Potter.
Okay, I have a feeling it didn't go over as well as they had hoped.
Yeah, so they're discontinuing that, and then I saw Nintendo is discontinuing Dr. Mario.
Yeah, I'm sad about that too. But it was a freemium game, so what do they're not going to keep it running forever, and if people stop playing it,
yep.
Right?
And I don't expect them to, but I guess to me it kind of puts a barrier to entry if that game doesn't do well.
Mm-hmm.
And I put a year and a half into it,
mm-hmm.
and then they're like, oh well. But
you had your time. You still had your year and a half with the game that entertained you. So
yeah,
if that gets shut down,
but I'm still playing Pokemon. Like if they got rid of Pokemon tomorrow or said, hey, it's going away, I'd be like, what?
What if they? You know what? Hey, this. For some reason, the plot, the free guy, just popped in my head. What if Pokemon Go goes away and they're replacing with an entirely new Pokemon Go where you have to start over?
I'd still be like, what? How about they offer like a $50 thing where I get to keep my guy?
There you go. Maybe they transfer things over. Well, they already do in Pokemon Go, like would transfer to like the Nintendo Switch Pokemons, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
I've transferred a couple in and out. I have a couple in my bank.
Yeah, they're pretty good about that. I wouldn't worry about it.
It sits in there with the cryptocurrency.
Yeah, with the cryptocurrency. Exactly.
That's where I store my Pokemon.
Exactly. Katie, is this one that you might be jumping into on your shiny new iPhone?
You can get into it now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm downloading it right now.
Oh, geez. This story must be
the
from
article's
last
a
week.
little misleading.
Okay.
Because wait, are you on the Nintendo Life? No, I'm on the Nintendo Life. Their article
I'm on the
is like
Engadget
Pikmin
one.
Bloom is now available to download across Europe, Asia, and Africa. And like last week was America's launch. So
Wait, so there's like no story about America's launch, but I got all these about the other ones. Okay, well, we're just gonna download it now and see how this goes, I guess. So, sure. Yeah, it looks a lot like Pokemon Go to begin with. Let's see what you're supposed to do with this thing. You walk to grow your Pikmin. Pikmin. Do we got a ruling on this? I got the GameCube version where nothing talks. So,
GIF for GIF.
Your flowers bloom along your path as you walk, and you log your day before you wind down for the evening. Walk to meet new Pikmin, and take down mushrooms to obtain fruits. Oh, this is fun. Oh, now we're loading. Oh no, here we go. So yeah,
That's not fair. You have like a typical good place right next to you, right? The church next to you.
Yeah, it's been
is a Pokestop and
yep, and
there's a gym. I can't remember.
I think it's a Pokestop next door, but there's a gym that popped up that's like within. If the wind's blowing the right way, you can attack it from the studio here. Let's see. I'm a new player technically. Well, wait, hold on. If I say returning player, I'm gonna log in with my Nintendo account. We'll see what happens here. And I don't have this unfortunately hooked up to do this, but yeah, no, we're good to go coming into it, and we'll see how that goes. I want to play with this a little bit here in the meantime. I will go back to it later in the show. Oh no, logging back into my Nintendo account. Okay, well, so this is the new thing. We'll be trying this out, but it looks like it's encouraging walking around, just in time for the cold weather.
Perfect.
Exactly. It keeps cycling me into my Nintendo account. This probably isn't good. I also
December in Boston should be nice for that game.
Yeah, exactly. We're gonna. This is when I'm gonna walk the dog. Maybe we'll do this. So it's the other. Yeah, most of my walking and running I do on a treadmill, so I don't think that's going to. Work out too well. So, well, other game news. Let's see what else is going on out here. All right, let's talk about it. Facebook rebranded last week to Meta. Okay, there's that. But on the video game side of things, they are also retiring the Oculus brand. So it's going to be, I believe, MetaQuest, which sounds like a Sequest sequel, but to me. But yeah, so they're switching that up. I love the whole idea was, there was listed something they're talking about, and I didn't watch the announcement. I've only read responses to this thing, and I feel like I definitely need to watch the video to get a little more context. But the biggest thing they said when they knew, like supposedly Mark knew that he needed a rebrand when they started announcing you needed a Facebook login to use the Oculus hardware, and everybody freaked out. So they said, okay, we're going to have to rebrand so people to stop freaking out about being connected to Facebook. The problem is now you just have a Meta login, which is the same damn thing. It's just been rebranded. We didn't fix anything. We fixed nothing.
That's what I don't get. Like, and in fact, I have an Oculus that's left off. Like, I never logged it in.
Mm-hmm. Like you're done with it? You're just done with it, or with the Facebook connection?
With the Facebook connection, I'm sideloading.
Oh, okay.
So and that's on my older one.
Okay.
And then I saw there's a whole, because then they have the Go.
Mm-hmm.
The Go there's a whole aftermarket for that too now.
Wow. That's the one they discontinued, right?
Yep. It only had the single hand remote.
Yeah, it was basically like I logged into the Pikmin. Oh, this is fun. Anyways, Pikmin are invisible to the human eye. Mm-hmm. So they're all around you, just like ghosts. Shit. Okay. Anyways, yeah, I really want somebody else to take them on. I know Valve is doing stuff with the HTC Vive and everything, but it's just not like I really want to see an alternative to something like this that's not as problematic. Thanks to Facebook in general, I guess. So I mean, this was basically a product announcement, and with it they said we're rebranding. Again, other than the new announcements, which from everything I'm seeing, and I got an article in here we can pull up in a second, but everything I saw, like everything is this pie in the sky tech demo stuff. Like it really feels like the HoloLens concepts that we saw. And then of course we saw HoloLens and that turned into like, hey, you can see this nice AR view through this tiny little window on this headset that costs like $5,000, that you can't even get for the most part. So, and by the way, this Pikmin game is very close vibes to Pokemon Go from what I'm seeing here. But anyways, so I don't know, Katie. What do you think? What's your interest in VR? And I'm sure being the social media guru, you got opinions about Facebook rebranding here.
Well, I have to say that I started today off with going into my Facebook account and it being suspended for I forget what the weird activity of some sort. Unusual activity, and I had to re-verify who I was, and there was no weird activity, so I have no clue why it kicked me off to begin with. So I don't know what my account was doing when I was sleeping last night. But, yeah, because it has, if you've ever done it, it has you re-verify like the last how many posts and how many pages you liked and how many friend requests you approved to make sure that you weren't up to something. Or somebody else was not up to something on your behalf, and no, it was nothing. So I have no idea what happened or why it did it. So yeah, I really appreciate what Facebook's doing right now. But as far as like the meta stuff goes, it's just like smoke screen. Like, look over here.
It really is, isn't it? Yeah.
Well, there's like a fire over here, and they're like, look at the shiny thing over here, squirrel. Ooh.
And of course, there's claims that this has nothing to do with what's going on, but again, the timing. I mean, anybody can, all anybody can do is suspect, since they're not clear on things until somebody leaks papers.
Yeah, like at what point do we? I feel like Facebook has lost us as far as there's just no trust in the brand. I mean, we'll continue to use it because we enjoy using social media. We connect with people in our businesses, but like as far as I can't even imagine if they did a survey to see how people feel about Facebook and whether or not they trust them.
There was a really good description on, I think Twit was talking about this. They're like they're just like all those brands that everybody hates, but they have to use because they have to use, like Comcast, Cox Cable, Verizon, AT&T, right? I mean, AT&T does some really kind of cruddy things, but they're the service I have. I have to pick one, right? What you'll pick the less crappy one, and then Facebook is even less because like you have Twitter, but Mom's not on Twitter, right? To share her dog photos. So like you have to be on there for that, but you can. I mean, I think, all we can do is inform. At this point, and tell people to protect themselves, and until somebody gets frustrated enough and deletes their account or gets kicked off. Like, could you imagine if that happened to like any of our parents, right?
Yeah.
Like what they're just gonna be like, well, I guess I'm done with Facebook. I don't know how many people were like, well, Twitter said I had to verify something and gave me some crap and I didn't have time to figure it out, kind of thing.
Or you just go create a new one.
Well, yeah,
I think I mean, I can't tell you how many people have gotten locked out of their Facebook account or they can't figure something out. So they just go create a new one.
Yeah. I mean, geez. I have those with clients where it's like, hey, how are we going to stream to your Facebook? And they're like, well, funny story. I'm like, well, then what do you want me to do? So if we don't have access, we don't have access for you to share. I'm just planting Pikmins over here.
So are they going to, like, when are they like revamping like Facebook
itself? Was there anything about revamping it in that announcement? I don't think so.
I don't know. Or is it just they changed the name of the company and the Oculus brand?
That's it. That's
it.
Now with it, they did announce.
But you're still going to connect to Facebook then.
Yes, Facebook is just an app in the company. Facebook is now not the company. It was a shift in mindset, Chilla, and that's going to make everything okay. If we say we're talking, remember Alphabet with Google, and they shifted things, and Google became a product under Alphabet instead of Google is the company. It's this. It's the same thing, except they don't have an A to Z of we're going to put crap in the clouds for cell, and we're going to do Waymo for cars and all that kind of stuff. Like it's a less focused, or is a less spread out version of this, right? Like they're like, okay, Instagram, WhatsApp, Facebook, whatever Oculus is now, is all Meta, is all under the Meta brand. Remember like just under a year ago, we noticed all of our apps just decided to, for some ungodly reason, start to say Instagram. Let's see, where's that load screen? It's not seeing it now, but it says Instagram by Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
Now they get to say
Now it's
by
by
Meta.
Meta.
By Meta, because that makes everything different. So
But the login is going to be.
it's the same login.
But Ian, it's going to be Facebook.
Yeah, but you're gonna see when you go to your front page, it's gonna say login with Meta instead of login to your Facebook with Meta instead of login to Facebook instead of login.
But
to...
can I create a Meta account without having a Facebook account?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
I don't think so, but because I think.
I mean, to me, that's what the people want, right? They want to be able to disassociate, not just give you a new name.
But I can't get your data and sell your data if you're not connecting everything together. So I can piece who you are together between your phone number over here on Instagram and your pet's first name over on here on Facebook.
I also want to point out, when you go to Facebook, I went to an incognito window here to see what it looked like. There's no mention. It still says Facebook 2021. Okay,
That's
like there's no.
Yeah, that's what I mean. When
no...
are they going to rebrand that Porsche? Like, I don't know. Now it seems even more fishy.
It's a process. Well, also, nobody knew about this. Like they NDA'd everybody that had anything to do with it. They barely told anybody in the company that this was going to happen. So this is a surprise. So the teams that actually have to implement this, I mean, even you go over to Instagram, right? And it says log in with your Facebook account, right? It doesn't say, let's see what it says at the bottom. It says, okay, guys, I found it. This is the big thing.
You found Meta.
I found the Meta. Because if you go to the bottom of your unlogged in Instagram account, it does say right down there, 2021 Instagram from Meta.
Ooh.
That's the big one. That's the big point right there.
This is sounds like some way to dodge a lawsuit where it could be containerized to Facebook and not bother the entire company.
Right. Or congressional hearings. So it's ridiculous. It's stupid.
I am part of Facebook. I don't need to show up. Or I guess I'm from Meta. I don't need to show up. That's a Facebook thing.
There's no Dave here, man. So, yeah, it's what it feels like. It's and hi, we're streaming on Facebook by Meta. Or whatever the case may be. But I mean, we're going to use it. Katie, you and I are going to use it because that's what our clients are on, right? And that's where the fans are, and that's where it is. Until that changes, that's what it is. And I don't have a lot of clients putting other than content on the platforms. I don't have a lot of clients putting a lot of money into it. But because I know those stats are questionable at best from the sounds of it, especially on video. So I don't know. This is one to watch here, and we're gonna laugh at. I think this is one that's we're gonna go back and laugh at in a couple years, or not. I don't know. Maybe this resurrects them. I don't know. I mean, resurrect is not like they're not having blockbuster quarters still, right? Because everybody just lives on Facebook. So. Including our viewers, hello. But they did show off. There's Verge had an article. Amid the fluff, Meta actually did show off some impressive demos. These are demos. These are. Remember when Google Glass came out and they showed that video of like all the reactive things that can happen in your Google Glass, and none of that really ever happened. like again, the HoloLens that I mentioned, things like that. I just feel like, great. I'm tired of tech demos. We've all watched our sci-fi. We all watched Star Trek. It's fine, and also the idea, again, listen to a game developer on another podcast saying, these guys are really dedicating to this idea that you're going to live in this virtual environment with your headsets. And the AR is what's more impressive here, right? The AR of this house, moving in space, based on how it's moving with your AR glasses. That's impressive to me. The typing on a floating This is straight out of sci-fi. You know, you're floating text messages over your desk with you typing with no keyboard, and you just have these wrist straps going on. You know, another one where you're writing on your leg, and it's popping up as a pop-up. You know, again, text messages kind of situation, messenger situation in front of your television. Like, you know, I imagine this is like that. This has to be an AR experience, AI glasses experience that they're doing here. You know, this is impressive. This is what's going to actually go somewhere. I don't know if Facebook's the one to do it. This still feels like a Microsoft or Google implementation here, even in Apple, right?
I would be super impressed with that whole writing on your leg. Like, I think of it like if you could write and think about the olden days, write a note on your hand to remember something, but that it's like a virtual notepad.
But you only see it on your AR glasses.
You only see it on your AR glasses.
Or if you're Kraus, your brain implant.
Yeah.
Your brain chip implant that we talked about a few weeks ago. There's some cool ideas. If they're working on the technology, that's great. But if it means you need to give all your stuff away to do it, then I think people are going to have a problem with that. There's a lot of problematic business implementations for that. You know, are you ready for your? Hey, at least like when you get the Facebook portal, it's now called the Meta portal. That's not more creepy, is it?
I guess. I don't know. Like I said, I don't hold a lot of trust.
Meta specs? You ready for your meta specs? No.
Which I'll tell you what, some of my family members do have portals.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was the easiest thing.
Because they're already on Facebook.
It was easy to sign in. They do have a short, they have a battery in them.
Mm-hmm.
And the auto follow camera was super, like the auto framing, they really, really like. So for my family members that live, some in Pittsburgh and some across the United States, that's what some of them use to keep in contact.
So
because they can put it on the. I feel like the big use case is they put it in their kitchen, like while they're cooking dinner,
mm-hmm.
and like that's their catch-up time with other family members.
Katie, you're seeing some of the images of some of these tech demos and things like that. Other than being Facebook, I mean, they do have a little bit of gee whiz to them, don't they?
Yeah, they're neat. I want to hate it, but I can't.
Yeah. It's like if you pull this off, great. It gives you a reason to stick around. So, Chilla, while Facebook's doing their kind of crazy tech demos, we got another round of those kinds of tech demos from Microsoft over with Teams, I guess, right? So tell me a little bit what's going on there.
Ignite kicked off,
mm-hmm.
and one of the things that they kicked off with was some of the 2D and 3D Microsoft Teams stuff, and one of its mesh, which brings kind of the 3D virtual reality avatar-y.
I don't know
avatar-like.
I don't know what's creepier,
presence.
that they're floating torsos in a room or that they're running Microsoft Edge.
We were joking around it. Well, don't forget, Edge is just Chrome now.
I know. I know. Listen. I'm using Edge for a chat room right now, actually. So
we were joking around about it today that it requires an upgraded license, and it's an additional $5 for legs.
$5 for legs? That's the upsell.
We were joking around it, but it's not true. But because it is kind of creepy that they do float around.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at that one picture, yeah, they're definitely like torso up. And then I said, can I get a discount if I give my torso back and just use a floating head license?
A floating head license.
But I did think it was cool how they had kind of the side by side two avatars talking, where you could walk up. Like it's almost kind of that VR-ish feeling. It will do live transcription, so they're borrowing some of their existing tech. The other cool thing, if you look at the picture towards the bottom, it looks like it's in a right there.
Mm-hmm.
You're actually going to be able to take and design your own 3D physical space, virtual physical spaces, to base them off of of whatever you want, right? So if you wanted to build like your studio, it seems like it's going to be pretty easy to do, and they've done some of this stuff in Teams already in together modes.
This is true, but why don't they just marry two of their products together with Microsoft, and you just build your office in Minecraft and import and put your avatars in? Right? I mean, your tool's right there.
Yeah, Minecraft though is still pretty blocky.
Yes, of course, but
and maybe that's where they got all that. Maybe that's where they got some of this from, right? But I don't know. The one thing that I did think that was nice was one of the things they're borrowing from this as well is almost like on FaceTime, where you can use your Memoji as an overlay, so you don't have to show your real face or whatnot on a FaceTime call. They're doing that same type of thing where you can have your avatar join a meeting, and it will be able to mimic your facial expressions, like your mouth moving, eyes blinking, all the normal stuff without having to show your real face. So, right, if it's the middle of the night and you're in your pajamas on a conference call, you can bring up your avatar instead of actually showing your real live camera feed, which I thought was pretty cool.
I have another pontification I want to get to here for a little bit, but you mentioned something like the Xbox. Like, I remember the Xbox avatars. They're supposed to look more like you. You know, I got my guy that's my long hair me that I made 10 years ago, and I have the little Voltron head because I got that at the Comic-Con. You know, like that little guy. Like I feel like that's what this is, right? Like this is that little, you know, cartoony you with no legs. So I can't get over the floating torso thing. It's so weird. So
they were short on time. They had to get a product out. You have no legs.
Yeah, exactly. So, Katie, are you on Teams? Like, none of your clients are using Teams, are they? Like,
we're on. That's how you got on at SAE.
Oh, that's right. That was your account, wasn't it? That we used when we did that event a month ago. Yeah. I forgot about that. You're just like, oh, I got a Teams account. I'm like, who has a Teams account?
Me.
With Windows 11, you'll have a Teams account.
Yeah. So, well, actually, I'm really amazed how many people had a Teams account, and I think we're officially NDA'd, so I'm not going to talk about those companies. But SAE International is one of them. It's like the only one that was like, oh, hey, we got to do our call. All right, I'll send you a Teams invite, right? Like everybody else is Zoom, or, you know, I kind of make some people use Google Meet because it's an easy button. When we bring some people in virtually for some podcast recordings to supervise, actually. So, geez, that's and Chilla, you guys are Teams there. I mean, you're a more Big Bank International is a more traditional corporate structure, and it's just Teams just infiltrates that because you're already in Office.
Yeah, and I think that's where the trick that's where the card gets played, right? In the financial industry, people can definitely question Zoom. You're not going to be using Facebook at work, right?
No, nope.
All the regulatory fun, and I'm not giving away any trade secrets here.
No.
But there's I mean, it is what it is. If you're paying for that license and you have Teams for free, you're not going to go buy, well, it's not free, it's part of your license.
It's part of your license.
You're not going to go buy 52 more products, right?
It eases, it just backdoors into your system and say, oh, it's the one here. We have a button for it. Let's use it, right? And it's better.
It's pretty much de facto.
Yeah, and it's no better or worse than Zoom or anything else, I think. You know, it's just the one that's there. And actually, from the stuff I guess we were talking about, we did that conference, and somebody had to come in remotely, and it was solid. Like, I don't think we had any problems with that connection whatsoever. And we did something like that on WebEx a couple of winters ago with the same group, and it was a nightmare when we did that. You know, in multiple rooms had to do WebExes, and we were setting up and everything. And it was just untenable. Like, it was just barely useful. Versus Teams, really, I thought really was rock solid. So I'm interested
to see, because they're supposed to be coming out, and I haven't got to play with any of it yet, but they're supposed to be coming out with some more intense broadcast, like virtual broadcast tech for like large scale webinars and whatnot, where it's almost like it's supposed to be like a virtual ATEM mini hooked up to all of your remotes. And there's going to be like a private green room. There's going to be like a walkie-talkie or a sidebar chat where if me and you and Dudders are actually running behind the scenes, we can all talk to each other and hear the show that's going on, but no one else can hear us because we're like, it'd be like if you were physically running camera and running around with headsets on.
Yeah, so it sounds like the boxing production, right? I got the announcer microphone. I got the guys on commentary. We have a microphone pointed at the cage for whatever grunts and punches happen there. But we have a whole infrastructure of me talking with our camera people and the promoter and whatever we need to do to run, or even I have a mic that talks to the commentators now and says, hey, we're coming out of commercial. Hey, can you wrap this up going into intermission? Hey, I got a replay coming up. Like there's that whole backbone unseen thing, right? So that's cool that that's actually in there. And I think Zoom does something like you can do a lot of that routing in there as well. And it gets like Zoom gets crazy complicated with production. I've seen some wild stuff through office hours lately. Yeah, I don't know. I'd love to continue looking at it on that production as we do more and more of these because I don't think they're going away. We're going to continue doing these hybrid events, right? Like we did in Ann Arbor a month ago. It was there. It was streamed and we had people interacting remotely, and we did the same thing with Veterans Farmers back in Seven Springs in February when we had to separate things for COVID, right? That's. It was seriously we joke about, but Teams really has me interested in what we can do with it, and it's there, instead of plugging somebody into Zoom or something. I got a fun one for the way out here, guys, and I apologize. This is a New York Times article, so you might get hit with a paywall kind of thing. Wait, by the way, the paywall, it doesn't like my phone wants me to log in to New York Times with a new login, but I throw it up on browsers and I'm fine. I don't know what's going on with it, but anyways, that's not the point. You guys know who BJ Novak is, right? From The Office. He's done a few other things since, of course. Apparently, New York Times had fun, and this was a whole set of stories over on his Instagram. Apparently, at some point, his image got uploaded to a website, and somewhere through that process became part of the public domain. So, thanks to that, apparently his face has been showing up on products around the world. Let's see if we got let's see. We got some fragrance. We got a shaving kit in one country. We have a poncho has his face for some reason in another country. Let's see. Here he is for some in Uruguay with some face paint. So you can color up for your favorite Uruguay team, apparently. There he is on Cologne. There you go. Encounter Cologne. I believe that was a Singapore one. Oh, there he is on a razor too. Really, the face care products. He's really kind of picked up. Why is he on the razor? Because he has a little bit of stubble in this picture. Is that what's going on here? So, yeah, some fascinating. It was just a wild time on the Twitter the other day, on Instagram when he was showing these off. I don't know. Have you guys seen any wild stuff on public domain or anything like that? Like this is the first time I've seen like a major actor just like pop up on everything like this. And you feel like when you see like some of these costumes and these packages, like, oh, that guy kind of looks like so and so. Turns out it's BJ Novak.
But how does that happen? Like, if your picture's taken in public and it's like works its way through enough stuff, the picture's then public domain, so they can use it.
Something like that. I'm always iffy when I go to Google and I click the copyright-free public domain stuff because I don't know if it actually is or a picture just got uploaded to a site that says everything's public domain. It may not actually be, so it gets me. That's why I go to something like Motion Array to look for pictures, because I know like if it's on there, it's curated, it's got the rights right next to it, and it's like, okay, here it is. So I get one of those weird emails in a couple months saying, hey, you're using my stuff, and I'm like, well, here's exactly. Here it is here on this site, and here's exactly what we were paying for. According to this, someone else chose his picture and then uploaded it, quote, years ago to a website where he believes that it became part of the public domain. He was talking about on Instagram. It could not be determined who took the original picture. So ideally, it's there and free for product use, and there's not much he can do about it. BuzzFeed noted Tuesday in a roundup of personal care and household products from around the world bearing his image. So yeah, that's pretty wild. So I've always wanted to maybe just take some pictures, throw it up on a public domain site, and see where I end up at some point. So, oh geez. Anyways, well, that's all I got, guys. Thank you, Chilla, for hanging out with us again. Thank you for having me. Yes, as always.
Thanks for piping in the big D.
Yes. At Chilla on the tweets.
Chilla, John Chilla on the Facebooks.
Yes, and of course, Katie K Dudders on the tweets.
Yep, Kate Marie PDH on Instagram, where I'm Instagramming or currently posting in my stories my Mothman sticker and my Boba Fett book.
Did you have a good Halloween? I saw pictures from the wedding you attended.
Yes, that was a lot of fun too.
I've never seen a wedding with fog before.
Yes, it was dry ice fog.
Dry ice fog, nice. They look
different than.
It looked like the first dance, and there was just like a nice billowing of fog at everybody's feet when it was happening. That's cool. That's really cool. So
literally, it was very cool because we were across the room. I was like, ooh.
So,
yeah, it was very cool.
And of course, at Sorgatron on the Twitter, you can follow my adventures, and we're doing really fun stuff. I am apparently booked to go to Rochester, New York, for a pay-per-view this week. Just doing cameras this time, not doing full production. So hopefully won't get in too much trouble there ringside. So that'll be with this is I know it's not the wrestling podcast, but we're going to be working with a promotion that is returning after about a 10-15 year absence, and apparently was just featured in Dark Side of the Ring on Vice TV. So that's going to be fun. I need to watch that episode to know what the heck I'm getting into. So if there's anybody up in the New York area, we'll say hi maybe on Sunday. So looking forward to that. So thank you, everybody. Thank you for joining us. Thank you, Dave Podner, hanging out in the chat room I saw this evening. And we had a couple other friends over on the YouTube I saw. So giving a shout out to everybody hanging out there. I don't know. It's a lot of emoticons happening over there. So I'll have to take a moment to get my emoticon translation book out to check that out. Is Google Translate going to translate emoticons for me? I don't see any eggplants in there. That's the only one I know. Anyways, thank you, everybody, for joining us. You have been our awesome audience. Have an awesome week. This show is a member of the Sorgatron Media Podcast Network. Find out more at sorgatronmedia.com.